are delighted to welcome to the program the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA. He's also the host of the Charlie Kirk Show that is premiering right here on Real America's Voice on Monday. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're happy to have you, and your organization, Turning Point, does so much to bring young people over to the conservative cause. And I wanted to ask you about that in light of Mayra Flores, her victory in her special election, because she has a very famous person in her district, Elon Musk, who blasted it out very publicly on Twitter that he voted for her. And with respect to young people, Elon Musk has a lot of pull with the younger generation. And I just have to think for Democrats, there couldn't have been a worse district along the Texas border to flip from blue to red.
Yeah, first, I just think it's amazing. And I can't wait to be on Real America's Voice starting on Monday. It's going to be amazing. This is the studio right here, and it's just going to be awesome. But yeah, look, I think what happened in the Rio Grande Valley is a once-in-a-generation political realignment. What you saw is a district that was once Democrat plus 25, go Republican plus 5. I think there's a lot of reasons for this. Obviously, inflation, gas prices, open borders, failed economy, all those different sorts of things. But also, I think that there is a white liberal woke ideology that is being imposed on minority communities that is deeply unpopular. This idea that men and women is just a construct, that men can become pregnant. This is not popular with muscular class working voters in a district that is 84% Hispanic, the second most Hispanic district in the country. And yes, that also includes Elon Musk, because a sliver of that district includes SpaceX's one of their launching off points. And Elon Musk, being an amazing, brilliant entrepreneur, he said he wants a red wave coming in November. The world's richest man, founder of Tesla, founder of the Boring Company, SpaceX, and just an all-around very interesting man, and hopefully soon to be owner of Twitter, is now wanting the woke to be destroyed and defeated, and for Republicans to succeed coming into November. So I think this is a generational realignment. If Republicans start winning the Hispanic vote even close to what we saw in the Rio Grande Valley, it could be a metaphorical political extinction event for the Democrat Party, which, of course, I would love to see.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Another place where Democrats are hurting big time is with young voters. By the way, that's who helped propel Joe Biden into the office back in 2020. Latest poll from Quinnipiac, 22% favorability rating among Democrats, among young people for Joe Biden. What is going on, and what do Republicans need to do to engage those young people and bring them over?
Well, I think they have to talk about the three things that are so difficult to do right now: buy property, get married, and have children. Look, there is a massive issue right now with buying homes in America, especially for young people. You have rates going up to 6%. The bond market is upside down. The economy is in tatters. And what you're going to start to see is an increasing cynical financial situation, cynical financial attitude from younger voters in particular. I am not a fan of BlackRock swooping into communities like Scottsdale or Mesa or in Buckhead or in Denver and buying up single-family homes and then renting them back to young people. I don't think that is conservative at all. I think that is puritanically free market to the expense of a generation that's just trying to have the same American dream that their parents had. This is an untold story that's happening right now in the financial markets, which is that single-family home prices continue to go up because massive trillion-dollar funds are coming in, buying up these homes, and then they're going to young people and saying, hey, we can't have you, we know you can't get a mortgage, but you can just rent to us. They won't buy long-term, they won't build long-term equity. I think it actually creates more liberal voters and also cynical financial attitudes. So I'm not saying that massive government intervention is necessarily the right step. It needs to be addressed, talked about, and maybe there's a market solution to that. But I want to try to get more young people to be able to own stuff, be out of debt, and believe in the American dream.
Yeah. And Charlie, you're one of those people, you keep your finger on the pulse of culture. And we, unfortunately, as conservatives, started losing ground in the cultural realm years ago. But there seems to be two schools of thought, and I think that they are both advantageous to our movement. One is creating a parallel economy so that we can differentiate ourselves and separate ourselves from the damaging parts of current culture. But there is also a movement to infiltrate and try to influence that culture, to maybe try to ameliorate it to some degree. To you, do you think that there is one approach that is more effective, or should we try to walk and chew gum at the same time and go with both approaches?
Yeah, I think we should actually retreat from some institutions and then reconfigure and build new things. I'm big into building new things. We just launched Turning Point Academy, the first of which will be a brick and mortar school in Glendale, Arizona, in a collaboration with Dream City Christian. Can't wait for that. We have a couple more Turning Point Academies to announce very soon. But I think it's an all of the above approach. We have to we have to monitor and see what's happening in real time. But I think the most exciting thing is this kind of new entrepreneurialism, this free market, this pro-freedom conservative entrepreneurialism that if it doesn't work, let's build new things. Kind of inspired by the attitude of Elon Musk in some sense of that we could do bold, ambitious things that otherwise would have seemed out of reach. So I'm very excited about that. I think some institutions are far past redeemable value. I'd put most colleges in that category, but I do think that building new stuff, building our own institutions, the parallel economy, as you mentioned perfectly, is a great approach.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's building by the day. Charlie, I've been fortunate enough to be on your show, The Charlie Kirk Show. For those on Real America's Voice who haven't got to see you in action with your extraordinary interview skills, in fact, I said this to people, you're a modern day David Frost. What can they expect on your show?
It's fast paced. We let our guests talk. As you know, John, we just ask the question and then let them lead. We listen to our audience. We're obviously conservative. We are open to new ideas, but we talk about a lot of things that sometimes shows don't talk about. We'll talk about philosophy, culture, religion. We'll talk about what's happening in the daily news, but from a different perspective, always from kind of a solution-oriented point of view. So I appreciate the kind words, John. We love having you on. You're always breaking new stories with us. And, you know, our podcast has been doing phenomenally well, praise God, over the last couple of years. And then we've been doing our radio show for a year and a half, and that's just skyrocketed to well over 120 stations. And now we can't wait to come to the Real America's Voice family. It's going to be phenomenal.
We're excited, too.
I love it. And Charlie, one quick question before we go. We've got about a minute left. A lot of people think that conservatives are nerds, that we're stiffs, that we're not very cool. I happen to think otherwise. But what do you think is the #1 most effective way that we can change that stereotype about conservatives?
Well, I think the left is doing that for us now that the kind of cool kids and Rogan and Elon Musk are coming into our category because they're just so unhappy and unpleasant, the left is now. But look, I mean, I don't think we should try to seek approval from, the left-wing mob and all that. But come to a Turning Point USA event. I think you'll see that we could be principled, we could be focused, we can have really sound conservative doctrine, also have a very good time, have a lot of fun, and also kind of be the cool kids. So you come to a Turning Point USA event, I think that any of those kind of otherwise stereotypes towards conservatives get shattered pretty quickly.
I agree.
Yeah, I was blessed to attend and cover the Young Women's Leadership Summit a few weeks ago, and there were some very cool young ladies there. So I can attest to that. Charlie Kirk, one of the coolest guys at Turning Point. We appreciate you joining us and look forward to your show coming up. Everybody tune in to his show right here on Real America's Voice on Monday.